Have you ever seen a dog dream? Well, they move their little paws back and forth, and sometimes they even howl. They're dreaming like you and I, and they feel the same pain and love like us. One of the most sacred things on our planet are our dreamers, the sentient beings we have been destroying through the loss of empathy. And if we continue this practice, we will see a rise in mass extinctions, pandemics far worse than we've ever seen, antibiotic resistance, and extreme droughts. My name is Sonia Kurian, and I'm a junior at East Brunswick High School. I believe that for us to save biodiversity, we need to evolve, to protect sentient life, and reconnect back with the circle of life. And once we do this, then it's time to act. So to initiate perception change, I created the Sentient Movement. Sentient Movement is an international environmental team focused on protecting and preserving biodiversity and sentience by fostering empathy. But before I continue, let's talk about the Amazon, specifically northern Brazil. More specifically, the state of Pará and the Tapajos Valley. One of the main problems in the Amazon currently is deforestation, which affects us all globally. Some people like to refer to the Amazon as the lungs of the earth. Well, our lungs are in serious danger because the Amazon is on fire. 83% of deforestation in the Amazon alone takes place outside of protected indigenous territories, while only 17% of deforestation takes place in these protected territories. With that percentage, they've been doing an amazing job at protecting their land. But now, they're in serious danger as deforestation rates in their protected lands has increased drastically due to the increased threats of industrialization. The way I'm going about this problem at Sentient Movement is by designing a campaign for the legal and civil rights of flora and fauna, with the help of Professor Robert Walker from the University of Florida. Professor Walker is a faculty member in the Department of Latin American Studies. Other researchers in this field include Thomas Lovely and Daniel Nepstead. To quote Professor Walker, "In the light of the first wave of Amazonian development, which converted 20% of the forest into fields and pastures, the danger is this. The Amazon forest's complete disappearance due to a magnitude of deforestation capable of disrupting the rainfall cycles that sustain the land. This is why I focus my work on the Tapajos Valley and the indigenous people, in hopes of helping them save their culture, their land, and by doing so, saving us and biodiversity." So what's happening in the Tapajos Valley? Tapajos is one of the last free-flowing rivers in the entire Amazon, home to a diverse collection of ecosystems and over 14,000 indigenous people. Currently, it is threatened by the construction of over 40 large dams capable of irreversible damage on biodiversity. The only resistance have been the indigenous people until now. Tapajos is threatened to become an industrial waterway to support soybean transportation, and soybean farming has resulted in an increased rate of deforestation and subsequent loss in biodiversity. In South America, deforestation is already higher than the global average by twofold, while Brazil shows even higher rates. But besides all this deforestation, the real issue is the disconnect between humans and nature. In a rush to modernize and satisfy our economical needs, we're turning a beautiful valley, a source of life and protection to the indigenous people, a foundation of nutrients and vitality to all sentient beings, birds and trees and all life in between. We're turning it into an industrial waterway. If we allow this to happen, the Amazon will look like another Levittown. Now, if you don't know what a Levittown is, close your eyes and picture this. Identical houses, identical lawns cut to the perfect inch, identical cars, and identical children. It'll be a world with no color, no diversity, no dimension, and worst of all, no dreamers. It'll be a very gray world, a still world. It is humanity's worst nightmare. And sadly, we're already building it. One burned acre of the Amazon at a time, it becomes realer every single day. So what happens to the Amazon? What happens to the rest of the valleys? What happens to our species? Currently, indigenous communities are responsible for supporting over 80% of our planet's biodiversity. We need to protect them and their forest. So as previously mentioned by the Legal and Civil Rights Campaign, what exactly do I mean by the legal and civil rights of flora and fauna? What I mean is this. All sentient life, whether it be plants or animals, being treated and respected as our moral equals as opposed to our inferiors. What I mean is the protection of the Tapajos Valley and the indigenous people having the rights to their home again. What I mean is us collectively building a bridge with nature again. This has already happened in Ecuador for the rights of flora and fauna. Now it must be implemented and advocated for globally, not just in Tapajos, but everywhere. I'm sure you've all heard the saying that the earth is a big breathing organism. Well, it is. And like us, its sentient beings and biodiversity deserve the rights to prevail and coexist in harmony. If we don't come together and advocate for the rights of nature, for the rights of flora and fauna, we will be destroying not only the earth and all sentience, but our own species. Once that fine line connecting humans and nature is cut, the death of biodiversity will come back to haunt us. It's already started to. Thank you.